Welcome back to Talking with Brandie. I'm your host, Brandie, and what happens when life completely changes because of something you can't see? Well, today we're going to be talking about autoimmune disease because lately I've been having a lot of people ask me, how did you know that you had autoimmune disease? So I'm going to kind of go through like a little bit of a story time and some symptoms that I have. If you don't like TMI stuff, this is not the episode for you, because this is going to be talking about symptoms that, are the most flattering, but I'm going to be completely honest about it. So, autoimmune disease is so common nowadays anymore because I just feel like with processed food anymore, and just the way that the world is, it's really sad. And it really, I've had a lot of doctors tell me that it has nothing to do with your diet. And that's absolutely false in my opinion. I'm not a medical professional, so I don't have a doctorate in anything. I just can only tell you from my personal experience, and from what I experience might be entirely different to you. But if you're listening and you're having issues, this is the right podcast for you, because maybe you can find something out that you didn't know before. So I'm going to go back about, I want to say I was 25 years old. I'm going to be 30, you guys. I'm going to be 30 this year in January. So this has been like a 5-year journey for me. Let's backtrack. Let's go back about, I want to say it started happening about 7 years ago, actually. I had my first born. He is 8 years old now. But at the time, he probably was 3 or 4. And I started just getting first it started with, I always kind of had to be completely honest, I never had stomach issues. But I started getting issues about 7 years ago when I would get really constipated. So it got to the point where I would eat things and I couldn't go to the bathroom, you guys, for 3-4 days at a time. So at this point, I'm just not going to the bathroom. My stomach is hurting all the time. I'm literally I'm eating and it's not going anywhere, and it's getting painful to eat. So I'm starting to get at points where I'm afraid to eat anything, because if it's not coming out, how can I get it in, So I started getting to where I would I'd have to take laxatives, or I'd have to drink coffee or something that had to make me go, because it was getting really painful. And I would tell the doctors about it all the time, and they were like, oh, whatever, you're young, you're fine. So that's kind of where it all started. So I started getting really constipated all the time, every single time I ate, and it was very painful. Then it just turned into a full 180, and I was going to the bathroom all the time now. And I was like, oh God, did I drink too much? Am I even drinking coffee and now it messed up my stomach permanently? What's going on with me? And then that's kind of when I started going, you know what, maybe I have an allergy to dairy. And that's when I kind of started doing this, maybe I should try different diets. Maybe I should do this. And I tried to be vegan. I tried to do, gluten-free, dairy-free. I tried all these crazy diets, you guys. It did not matter what I ate. It just came out the other end every single time. So I just started to feel why am I getting sick all the time? Doesn't matter what I eat. And then that's when it started getting so bad where I remember actually I worked at Target, fun fact. It was actually the best job ever. If you ever want to get a job at Target, it's so fun because you get to see, honestly, it's kind of bad because if you just love home decor things, maybe it's not the job for you. You'd be spending all your money in that store. But it was a fun job for me. But I remember being a cashier at that job, and there would just be times where I'm oh my gosh, I have to go to work today. I'm not going to be able to eat before I go in because I don't want to have to use the bathroom. And I would just be scared that I'm not going to get breaks and I'm going to have to use the bathroom. And at this point, you guys, I'm starting to go to the bathroom like 10 plus times a day. Like to the point where like now I'm too scared to eat anything. Now I'm not eating all day before I go into work because I'm scared I'm going to have to use the bathroom. It was starting to get like that. Then about 6 months into the job, I miscarried. Unfortunately, I miscarried and it was really sad. I ended up being like so sad and depressed from everything that, and I was getting really sick. And as you know, miscarriages are very stressful. And I really am a huge believer that if you're stressed out, it makes you more sick. So if you're just like, why am I sick all the time? And you're constantly like stressed, just that doesn't make you better. You got to just chill, not be stressed out about things. But I was stressed out and I miscarried and it was really devastating to me, and that's kind of when I started getting really really sick. At that point I was going to the bathroom like 25 times a day. Like, and it was the worst at nighttime. So like I couldn't even sleep most of the time. I would wake up immediately at like, I mean, it started anywhere between like midnight all the way through into the daytime. So like I would go to the bathroom like every 20 minutes all night long until like I literally was like, I don't even know how I'm using the bathroom anymore because I don't even have anything left. Like it was so bad. I'm going to the bathroom like I'm either like I'm just drinking water and it's coming out. And mind you, this is not like normal stool. Like this is where it's gonna get TMI. This is when like I started having like weird consistency where it was just completely liquid. And my stomach was in so much pain, you guys. Like I was getting so bloated. I looked 6 months pregnant. And I was just getting so sick anytime I ate anything. Like I'm now like vomiting. I didn't vomit a lot because I'm not a puker, but I would just get so sick that I literally couldn't eat and it was painful. I'd have to go lay down and then I'd lay down and have to go to the bathroom again. And it literally just felt like I lived in the bathroom. And that's kind of when I started calling my mom and dad going like, what is going on with me? I'm going to the bathroom all the time. Like, what do you think is wrong with me? And my mom and dad didn't even know what to say. They're like, we've never had that happen to us. Maybe you're just, got like a flu going on or, and I'm like, Mom, like I've been sick like this for months. Like something is wrong. And I would go to the doctors and they would just put me in all kinds of different pills. Well, take this pill, take this pill, take this pill. And I was like, okay. And I'm sure that the pill was like meant for IBS issues, but like for me, it wasn't working. I was taking all of it. They did put me on this one that was like for inflammation issues, and it worked for a little bit. And then I just got sick again. And I was like, is this diet related? And we did all these tests and panels to see if I was allergic to any crazy foods. We did a full panel. The panel comes back completely clear. I'm not allergic to gluten, dairy. I have no fish allergies. I have no allergies to anything. Everything comes clear. And I'm like feeling like, why am I going through all these tests? Like at that point, I started to feel like hopeless. Like, what is wrong with me then? Because I was almost hoping that it came back that I am allergic to something, because then at least I would know what's wrong with me. And I kept feeling like I just keep never getting an answer, and I've been sick and I've been sick. So at this point, I'm like a year in of just being sick. I'm like unable to even work, you guys, because I can't even get off the toilet. It's just so bad. And I'm like having the worst stomach cramping. Like I feel like it's not even enjoyable to eat because every single time I eat, it just goes right through me. And I just felt like complete crap. And then I get pregnant with my second baby. God bless for that miracle, because I miscarried about 6 months before that. and I was just really sick and stressed out. And then God gave me this beautiful baby boy named Brody. And when for some reason, you guys, when I got pregnant with him, I wasn't sick anymore. Um, I don't know what happened, but it's like I wasn't going to the bathroom as much. I was actually able to eat and I was doing really well. And I thought, oh my gosh, like God blessed me with a baby and now I'm not sick anymore and I'm like healed. Like maybe I did just have a flu thing. I felt like, oh my gosh, life is good. So I was just so excited. Obviously, I was nervous about having a baby after you miscarry because it's like you just worry your whole pregnancy until you have the baby because you just constantly feel like, am I just going to miscarry again? Those of you that have miscarried know exactly what that feels like. So I was stressed out about that, but I had him naturally. Everything went really, really well. Um, I have him, and now like 2 years later, after I started having symptoms, 2 years later, I have the baby. After I have him, um, I'm pretty heavy, as you know. When you have babies, you gain some weight, and then we just have, and all you moms out there know the stress of like getting back into your pre-baby bodies after you have a baby is just like everyone's just like, oh my god, I want to see what she looks like. She just had a baby. Like, is she heavy? And it's just like the pressure to snap back is truly sad. Because if you think about it, I just wish I wasn't so hard on myself and I just did it naturally. But obviously, I felt the need to be thin because society just tries to pressure people, especially with all those Ozempic and Wegovy drugs out there anymore. It's just like as soon as anybody can get their hands on it with their insurance needed, or noted, there are people that really actually need that and it helps them medically with like lowering their blood pressure and it helps with their levels and it actually helps them more than if they didn't take it. Now there's some people like me. I'm 29, about to be 30. I'm not considered overweight. I'm only 130 pounds. And at the time I was about 100, I want to say I was 175 pounds. But I just had a baby. He's only a couple months old. I mean, I just felt pressure to hurry up and get back to my 130, 150, just lose that 30 pounds and get back to, just feeling myself. And so anyway, I'm just feeling like depressed. I'm on obviously after you have babies, you go on birth control and they try to pressure you to take all these different birth controls. Obviously, I take them and they make me gain weight and it's just all these like they make your hormones crazy. And if you were out there and you felt that, I completely relate because I hated birth control. It affected me so much with my hormones. It made me feel crazy. I literally was not even the same person. So, I just went into my doctor's office and I told her, like, hey, I'm on this birth control and it's just messing up my hormones. I just had a baby and I'm really just, is there like any other options? And I'm like really having a hard time losing the baby weight and my hormones are crazy. Is there some other birth control options? And that's when my doctor suggested Wegovy. Wegovy, if you don't know, it has double subglutide. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's an ingredient that slows down the digestive tract and it actually fills you up with like different gases and stuff to keep you fuller for longer. So if you've ever taken that drug or if you've ever taken Ozempic and you take like one bite of a cheeseburger and you immediately feel like I'm gonna vomit or I'm so full I can't even eat a second bite of this burger, it's because that ingredient in it physically makes you unable to eat. It obviously has like a natural hormone that goes to your brain that tries to tell you like, oh, I'm full faster. And it's definitely an appetite suppressor. So, So yeah, just to tell you a little bit about the drug. So I'm in her office. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is there anything I can do? And that's when she goes, well, why don't you try Wegovy? Wegovy is a really awesome injection that just got approved, and your insurance will actually pay for it. And there's a lot of success stories out there of people that took it and they lost a lot of weight. Do you want to try it? I can prescribe it to you. And of course, me being a young woman, I was like, oh my gosh, like a magical drug where I can just lose weight? Of course. Like, where can I sign me up? Like, I'm just like, let's do that. So she sends it over to my pharmacy. I go pick up this drug. I'm immediately scared, like, oh my God, this is a shot. Like, what is this going to do for me? Like, is this going to make me sick? Because, I mean, I'm seeing all these, but I look through the symptoms. All the symptoms just say, like, maybe, bloated, gassy, like, I think there was, like, egg burps on there or sour burps, things like that. And so, obviously, I take it and it makes me so sick, you guys. I literally was like on the toilet, like even worse than ever now. Like I was like in immediate pain, and I'm just like now like suffering through the pain. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. So, I was in immediate pain. I literally was feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't even get out of bed. I just remember feeling like dizzy. I would stand up and I would get so dizzy, I was fainting. I was literally fainting. Um, I was shaking. And mind you, when you take one of those doses, it lasts for a whole week. So when you feel like that, you're like that for an entire week until you take your next dose. And I just got so sick. I was like in so much pain. And I tried to get through it just because I was like, okay, this is just part of and my doctor kept telling me, you're going to get sick at first and then it gets better and it's normal. And I'm like, okay, like I'm just going to truck through this until I lose the weight. Of course, I lost like 10 pounds because I was so sick. I mean, it makes you so physically sick that you actually just can't eat. So it's almost like you just feel like you have the flu so bad. Like you have body aches. I mean, you're diarrhea, like vomiting, like you have intense stomach pain and like abdominal cramping to the point where like you're in physical tears. And I took about 3 doses of it. So I did it for almost a month. I got to my 4th dose and I was like, oh my God, I can't take it. I can't do this. And I got so, so sick that I was like, I'm never doing that again. I can't take it. And it wasn't worth it to me at that point to lose the weight over this medication that's just making me so much more physically ill. So, you guys, I don't know if I had this issue before I even took this drug, not knowing. Um, I started having like diarrhea and stuff before I took the drug, but like I said, after I got pregnant with my son, I was completely fine again. So it's really hard to really find out what specifically happened to me. This could be something I always had, and I just never had any symptoms of it until now. And then taking that Wegovy shot probably made it like so much worse. It could have caused it. I really don't know, but that's when I started having really bad issues after that. A couple months later, I stopped taking it. I'm starting to feel better from just not taking it, obviously. At this point, my son is now like, I have one baby in school and I have another baby now. And he's like a year old, and I'm just getting sick every single day. And it's just, I'm kind of used to it at this point. I'm just going to the bathroom all the time. And it's been like 2 years of just going to the bathroom. And I'm just like, okay, like, I don't know what's going on. But then I start to have This is where it's gonna get really gross. You get mucus in your when you go to the bathroom in your stool. And if you don't know what that means or what that even looks like, and I know that sounds so disgusting, but I literally did not understand it. So, what happens is your whole stomach lining has has mucus in your stomach intestinal tract. So, you have your obviously you have your intestines, and inside it you get mucus, and when you're eating chips or whatever you're eating and it goes through to digest, that mucus is supposed to protect your stomach lining from getting damaged. So when you get really, really sick with inflammation, and just eating simple things, obviously your stomach is so inflamed that the inside of your stomach is so tiny that you can't fit that food through your stomach, and it's all built up mucus, and the mucus will shed when you go to the bathroom, which that's really disgusting. I'm so sorry I had to tell you that. But that's when I started going to the bathroom, and it was all water and mucus, and I was like, what in the world? Like, at first I thought I had worms or something. I thought, oh my God, are these parasites? Like, what is wrong with me? I literally have like and I remember waking up one night and calling my mom and just being like, oh my God, mom, like, do I have like worms? Am I gonna die? And I'm just bawling and crying. Like, I just don't understand. And she just was like, I don't even know. Like, you need to go to the doctor. I don't even know what to tell you. I don't have any idea what that is. And I don't know what's wrong with you. And I'm just like over here Googling, like, and self diagnosing myself. Like, do I have E. coli, or do I have this, or do I have that? And I literally couldn't figure it out. So I go to the hospital, and of course, I get this really hot doctor. This guy comes in and he's like, hi, how can I help you today? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to tell this hot doctor that I have diarrhea and I have mucus in my, oh my God, like, I don't want to have to tell him all this stuff. And I'm just like, and so I like tell him like, well, I've been having to go to the bathroom lately, and anyway, it was so embarrassing. Obviously, the whole thing's embarrassing, and everyone that's seen me just assumed, oh, you look young, you look fine, you're a good weight, like everything's good about you. Um, they finally check my levels. I'm at this point, I'm so dehydrated from going to the bathroom so much that I had 7% of iron in my whole entire body. That's really low. Like, that's like deadly low. Um, it was so bad that they had to give me 2 IV bags to make me not dehydrated. Obviously, what was happening is my colon was producing so much water that even when I would drink fluids, I was going to the bathroom. So it was just getting really bad, you guys. It at that point, it was so bad. So so the guy sends a doctor in to check to this is when he wanted to do an anal check. He was like, we're going to have to do a swab and see what's going on in there. And I was like, I just told you I'm having issues in there. Like, why do you have to go? And I just remember him like doing like little tests and me crying and just being like, this is a whole shit show. It just felt like they didn't know what they were doing. They're sticking their hands in my bum. I'm in so much pain. I'm crying. Like, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So they literally sent me home and just told me they don't know what's wrong with me. Um, it was pretty clear that I was super dehydrated, so obviously they let me stay and get me an IV bag. They did send me to a transfusion center, so I actually had to go to a cancer center, which was really friggin' scary. If you've never been to a cancer center, all the people that have to get chemotherapy, which is so, so sad. It's literally so sad. And I had to go to this cancer center where people get like iron infusions, and that's when they get, you know, their treatments. And so I go to this place to go get an infusion. At this point, I'm excited, you guys. Like, I'm ready to get an infusion. I'm so sick. I literally feel like if you've ever been super anemic and have really low iron, you can vouch that you feel like you're so fatigued. It feels like everything just to lift a finger. Like, you can't even walk. You feel like lethargic. And I just remember crying, just like, I can't even get out of bed and take care of my own kids. It was so sad, you guys. I was so sick. So at that point, um, let's see. At that point, I'm at the cancer center. They send me in there. We're still doing blood tests, trying to figure out what's going on with me. At that point, I think we had to schedule a colonoscopy. They're like, okay, we don't know what's going on with you. We can't find anything in your paperwork. We've done all these different exams. We don't know how to help you. We're going to send you to get a transfusion and see if that helps you feel better. And then we'll just schedule a colonoscopy and see if we can find out what's going on inside. And I was like, okay, like, I don't even care. Get me in ASAP. Like, I'm going to the bathroom every single day. And this is when I started having, like, at this point, you guys, this is when you know you're really sick. You start to have blood. So I started having blood in my stool. And now I'm just going to the bathroom. It's all blood. It's all mucus. It's 20 something times a day. Like, I'm so sick, you guys, at this point. It's horrible. So I'm in the cancer center. I go to get my infusion. I sit next to this lady that's getting chemotherapy. And you guys, she's so happy. She has her little knitted blanket that's all custom with her little like cozy outfit and her little books. She's got like her little tablet and it's like she knows that she's going to be there for a minute, and she's so prepared for it. And I sit next to her and I think, man, I'm over here thinking I'm so sick and feeling so bad for me, and thinking, why me? I'm so young. What is happening to me? And I remember just going in there and looking at all the people that were sick and going through chemotherapy. And I just remember thinking, like, wow, like, I'm actually so lucky. And look at these people are actually really physically so ill, and their life depends on that medicine. And it was really like eye-opening for me to be like, wow, I'm over here feeling sorry for myself, and there's people out there going through like way worse things than me. And I just remember looking at that lady and being like, hi, I'm Brandie, how are you? And she literally wanted to hear everything about me. She's like, what are you here for? You're so cute as a button. And she's just like going on about me. And I just remember feeling like, wow, this girl's so sick and she just wants to hear about me. And she wants to help me. And she just was trying to make me feel heard and make me feel like it's okay and we're going to find the answers for you. And then she told me that she had been sick with cancer from when she was a baby, and it was all she ever knew. And so she said that she's just so blessed that she gets this life as long as she's got to live it. And she just said, I know that God's got me wherever I'm going to go, and I'm just blessed that I've made it as old as I am. And guys, I'd say she was probably in her 60s, late 60s. So it sounds like it was something she had to fight her whole life for. And I remember leaving thinking, wow, that lady was such an inspiration to me. And I remember just feeling so hopeless, like, oh my God, my life is over and I'm so young and why me? And I just was so filled with fear. And when I seen that lady and I seen how she acted and I seen how brave she was, it really resonated with me and made me feel like, you know what? Whatever's going on with me, I'm going to be fine. and I'm going to fight this too, whatever it is, and I'm not going to let this define me. You know, just because she might have cancer or I might have autoimmune disease, whatever anybody's going through, that does not define you. You just have to learn how to live with it. Accepting it is a really big thing. It took me a long time to accept it. But once you do and you kind of understand what you're going through and what your body's going through, it's a lot easier to accept. So I still think about that lady. I don't know if she's still kicking it or whatever happened with her, but I think about her all the time, and I wish I got to see her again. Fortunately enough, I didn't get sick enough that I had to go there many times after, but I think about her all the time. So I leave the cancer patient place and I get my transfusions. Oh my goodness, I got so sick from it because if you've ever, usually when you get iron infusions, you actually feel a lot better after, but no, I did not. So I got home and I was sick and shaken and felt like I was gonna puke, and it was a whole mess. And then fast forward, I take all the prep stuff for that fun colonoscopy. If you've never had a colonoscopy before, I'll tell you what to prepare for. They're gonna give you this big, like, I want to almost say it's like a 5-gallon jug. You know that movie Holes, where they got the big jugs and they're just slamming the whole thing? It's a lot like that, but it tastes like crap, and they put the laxative powder in it to the top of the rim, and you have to chug on that all day long. The first day, you're going to have popsicles, soup, broth, whatever, no solid foods. And then the next day, you can't eat anything all day long. And that stuff just wipes you right out until you just poop liquid, until it's completely clear and you know that you got it all out. So I go through that. I'm sick as crap, trying to just take this. I'm just going to the bathroom even more with this laxative stuff. And I finally go in. My husband took the day off, takes me to get my colonoscopy done. I'm in the waiting room for 3 hours. Mind you, I haven't eaten anything in 3 days. Like, I'm at this point, I'm hangry. Like, I'm like, get me in so I can just get food. Like, I'm so, like, hungry and ready to be done with this whole situation. So I finally get in there, and there's guys behind me, like, flipping out from the line being so long. Mind you, I live in a city area, so it gets really busy, and I'm sure that has something to do with where I'm located and there being a lot of people. That guy got so mad he walked out, and I remember thinking, I can't believe he drank all the solution, went to the bathroom, didn't eat anything for 2 days, and then he's gonna give up now. I just felt like, wow, like, that's crazy. But there were people that were like bad in the waiting room. They finally called me back, and I'm just like, yes, like, just get this over with. And everybody tells me like it's not painful, they're gonna put you to sleep. Oh girl. So they pull me back in this little, it was kind of scary to me, but I'm easily triggered and get scared over nothing. But they put me on this cart, they take all my vitals, they get my IV going, they ask me all the questions. You have any reactions to anesthesia? You know, do you have any family members, or do you have any history of heart disease? Like, do you have any things? And, you know, obviously no. And they pull me back in this little, like, cart, and they pull me into the surgical room where there's, like, this big screen, and you can see, like, the little scope, and I'm like, oh my god, like, and they're like, okay, you're gonna lay on your left side, and I'm like, no. And I got my, like, apron up, my bum's hanging out, and I'm just like, this is not fun. Like, I hate everything about this. And she's like, we're gonna start counting back, and I'm starting to get emotional. Anybody that goes on anesthesia, do you guys get emotional? I'll just be acting a whole mess when I'm on that stuff. But yeah, so I fall asleep. I wake up, and I'm immediately 10 out of 10 pain. I'm like, oh my god. You guys, they fill your belly full of gas. So if you already have, IBS issues, be prepared for that gas, because I woke up in tears from the gas pain. And I'm just like, oh my God. So I'm crying and screaming, acting like a whole drunk mess on the anesthesia. And the doctor comes in with like 4 different nurses. And my husband walks back, and I'm like loopy, and I'm just like, I'm hungry. I'm just like, get me out of here. And that's when they start telling me all this stuff, and I didn't understand. I was like, what? I like wake up, and they're like, oh my God, it's so bad, and you got to take this and this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you're very sick, and you have a very bad disease, and you need to be put on 10 medications like now. And we're going to send them to your pharmacy. As soon as you leave here, you need to go pick them up and take it. And I'm like, okay. Like, and they put me on they put me on all kinds of steroids, Prozac, and all kinds of stuff. And I remember just being like, I don't know what this means. I don't understand. I don't know. And they're like, well, we're going to send a biopsy in to see if you have, like, if your disease is active or if it's not. And I'm like, I don't even know what this means. Like, I was so confused. I didn't understand any of it. And I would say like a week later, I get a call that said, like, yes, your disease is like active and you're currently in a flare. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, so I finally set up this appointment with a gastrologist, the one that did my appointment. He was like foreign, and I couldn't understand a single word. I finally get an appointment with one of his nurses on staff, and she explained everything to me. She goes, you have Crohn's disease. Did they not tell you? And I said, what is Crohn's disease? And she said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, it's an autoimmune disease, and you have a really severe case of it. And it's pretty much Crohn's disease is a disease that you can get pretty much in any part of your GI tract. So you can get it literally from your throat, and it's a disease that goes in like your GI tract. It can be in your throat. It can go down to your ass. just telling you. And it's a disease that your intestines become inflamed. You get really sick, you'll get bloated, you can't eat. I mean, all the things that I was experiencing. So I was lucky enough to have ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. Fortunately, I don't have the ulcers, so that's good that I haven't progressed to the point of like now getting like pockets or like ulcers. But if you get sick enough, you can actually get ulcers in your intestinal tract, and they can actually erupt and you can die. Hello. Not scary at all. So yeah, she literally tells me right then and there, like, you have this really bad disease and we're so sorry we have to tell you about this, and just don't go home and Google everything because it's going to be really scary. You're going to scare yourself, and unfortunately, you're going to have to do colonoscopies every 6 months to a year because you're at 80% risk of getting colon cancer, stomach cancer, and all the things. So when she told me that, I'm like, I think this might be like a big deal, but I don't understand this. And that's when she started prescribing all these medications. None of those medicines worked for me. Not one of them gave me any relief. I tried all the things for multiple months. I was on, I was on so many, I probably tried 15 different pills. And we just got to the point where my doctor agreed that it wasn't working for me. And that we thought, okay, well, maybe we need to try something called a biologic. If you're foreign to any of this, a biologic is a shot that you take either in your leg or your stomach, and it's supposed to be almost like just like a stronger dose, and it suppresses your immune system to stop attacking itself. So what you're going through is like my body doesn't absorb nutrients. So when I eat, it just goes right through me and my colon just builds water and it just makes me go to the bathroom and it makes me feel like lethargic because my body's not taking anything in. So I'm having a lot of people ask me, how do you know that you have this? So for me, this is what happened to me. I started losing my hair around my hairline. You'll start to lose your hair because your body's not absorbing the nutrients. So you can't, your nails aren't growing like they should. Your hair's falling out. You're getting bruises, really bad bruises all over your body. Just even touching you and you get a huge bruise. You get really, really sick from just a common cold. Like you feel like you could die sick kind of thing. Um, Things like that started happening. And then I started getting kind of scared, like, why am I getting bruises everywhere? Why is my hair falling out? Like, why do I feel like I can't even stand up and I'm so dizzy? Like, why am I fainting? I remember I go to get up to go to the kitchen and I remember passing out in the kitchen and nobody was around me. My dog found me and licked my face and I woke up and like, oh my gosh, I should not be fainting at 29 years old. Like, there's something seriously wrong. So, obviously, fast forward, I was really, really sick for 3+ years. The goal is to be on a medicine that's going to help stop the inflammation. When they refer to the word flare up, what happens is your body goes through a flare. So your body goes through like inflammation where your body's attacking itself and you have like an active disease, meaning that you have Crohn's disease and it's active and every time you eat, you're getting really, really sick, um, and things like that. So the goal is to be in remission. So it's kind of like, I hate to say that it's kind of like cancer, but you know, like if you have cancer and you're in remission, meaning it doesn't get any worse, but it never really ever gets better. Autoimmune disease never can be cured. At this point, I have hope that maybe in the future they can cure it, but at this point, there's no cure. It's just managing the disease. So once you get severe, like I am, you really can't reverse the damage, but you can sustain it to stay not getting worse. So the goal is to not be in a flare and to be in remission. So I've tried for you guys 4 years now to be in remission. I still haven't made it there. I made it almost to remission and then I got very sick again. But yeah, you'll start to lose weight. Your hair will fall out. I mean, I was like 115 pounds. And if you know me, I've always been kind of a chunky little kid. I always held on to weight pretty good. And I've never been thin like that. And it just doesn't matter. And a lot of people picked on me and used to tell me that I had eating disorders or, oh, she doesn't eat or, oh, whatever, she's anorexic, whatever, whatever. But the truth is, no one ever really asked me what I was going through. Maybe I didn't eat anything because I was scared I had to go to the bathroom. And, like I got so sick I couldn't even hold it. I mean, I was like waking up, like having accidents and stuff like a child. It's literally debilitating, it's humiliating, it's scary, it's sad, it makes you feel like you have no control over your own body. And it just makes you feel like nobody understands. Like you can't ask anybody, oh my gosh, is this going on with you? Because it's just like everyone's looking at you like that's disgusting and I cannot relate. And it's really lonely. It feels like you're all alone. It feels like you're sick with this thing wrong with you that you cannot fix. There's been many times where people said, well, you're lazy, go get a job. Well, I literally can't even work because I can't stop going to the bathroom and I'm sick every other day. And it's just like a hard thing to manage, especially if you have children. So, if you're going through it, you're not lazy. You're not being dramatic. You're not, lying or being extra. I mean, you're sick. You're going through it and you're trying to get better. And I'm really a huge believer that stress can make you really sick. I mean, I was almost in remission and I had a family member that I loved truly, truly, and I miss her every single day. That I lost. I could still get choked up about it because she meant my whole world. And I got really sick after I found that out. And it was really hard. And there's times where I have to try to you almost have to retrain your brain to think it's always going to be okay, even if it's not okay. Because our bodies can feel that stress and it affects your whole GI. I mean, when you're stressed out, your stomach's tense, your back's tense, you're like, you have to just, you just have to breathe. You just say, Brandie, it's going to be okay. And you have to retrain your brain to see that the glass is half full and not half empty. And it took me a long time to get there. I started going to church and I started learning about it. I would suggest groups. If you feel all alone like I did, go to an autoimmune disease group. It really truly helps you and it's therapeutic because there's people that are going through the same thing and it's hard on your relationship. It's hard on your marriage. It's hard on everything. It's hard to work. It's hard to be a mom. It's hard to be a partner. It's hard to clean and take care of the people that need to be taken care of when you're sick yourself. So just take care of you. If you have autoimmune disease, if you're feeling those symptoms, go talk to your doctor. My doctor would not believe me. And you have to be your own advocate. I mean, at some point you have to say hey, I'm going to the bathroom every single day. I got blood and there's something seriously wrong. And you just have to be your own advocate and tell them there's something wrong with me and I'm not going to take no for an answer. And I did that for 3 years before I found out. So would I be as sick as I am now knowing? I don't know, but I'm just glad that I found out when I did and it didn't get worse. And we just have to think, well, this doesn't define me. It doesn't control me. I try not to let it control me. Sometimes it does. But now I have hope. Now I am on a medication called Triumpha. It's a new one. It's a little scary to try new medications. But when you get so sick that your life depends on it, you almost thank God for that medicine. Or you're grateful that somebody came up with it, because if I didn't take that, there was nothing that would work for me. And there's things every day coming on the market. And so if you're feeling defeated, nothing's working and everything, change your diet. Try to eat things that are not processed. I found that helps the best for me. Be on an inflammation diet. That helps. It really truly does. This processed food it doesn't process right in our bodies and it causes this disease. And I went on a 3-year inflammation diet. It was so hard. I remember going through it at first and having withdrawals from all the sugar and the addiction from just regular food. And I'd say about 3 weeks in, you start to feel like I don't really need that food anymore. And you start to see muscle in your body and you start to feel different, you start to feel better. And even though you might be really sick right now, it's not always going to be that way. It's going to get better. And look at me now. Now I'm doing a podcast for all of you, and now somebody has something to learn from me. So just know that if you have an autoimmune disease, we're all here. We all see you. We all know what it feels like. And even on the worst days, it always gets better. Okay, so thank you so much for being in tune with me, and be sure to like and subscribe and share this podcast with a friend. If you have an autoimmune disease, please tell me what you have, and if you have any piece of information to share with me. Just thank you for being here and watching, and we'll see you guys in my next episode. Thank you.